everybody. We are the Bird Nerds, Trevor and Ashley. And actually, we've recently changed our website to birdphotographylife.com. So that is the new URL for the website. But I wanted to get right into it. We are in Costa Rica right now for our honeymoon. And of course, we had to pick a location that was amazing for tropical birds. And yesterday we did a 12-hour birding tour, private birding tour with an expert who was probably the greatest birder I've ever experienced in my life. He knew, our guide Robert knew absolutely every bird in the area. He knew the calls. He could mimic the calls himself. He knew how to identify everything. If he would hear a bird in the trees, he was just obsessed with finding it, and he always would find it and show us in his little spotting scope. And that's how we enjoyed most of the birds I think we saw, was through the spotting scope. And it was very much a birding tour, so more binoculars and seeing through the spotting scope as opposed to photography.
Yeah, so we started our day traveling to Santa Rosa National Park, which is in the Guanacaste Peninsula, or province rather. So we started there, which is more drier, kind of deserty type of climate.
Very dry.
Very, very dry, like no grass, no leaves on the trees, so for most of the area, so it wasn't as hard to spot the birds, but a lot of the times they were high in the canopy or high at the tops of the trees. So again, it was utilizing binoculars and a spotting scope just to be able to see them and see the color and shape and type of bird.
And it's really, really hot too. Even we started at 5 a.m. This was 6 o'clock. We got to this portion of the trip and it was so unbelievably hot. So we were a little bit caught off guard by that. But some of the birds we saw, the parrots making the Laura call. Which parrot was that? Green parrot? The yellow-naped parrot, which was, man, unmistakable, that sound. You could hear them squawking away.
I couldn't help but giggle. It was just kind of a funny bird call to hear.
Yeah, it sounds like they're saying Laura. That was an amazing, I mean, it's sad to say, but that's a bird we've only seen in the pet shop before. And then we started to see the honey creepers there. We saw the gnatcatcher, which was cool to see the tropical version of the gnatcatcher we're used to seeing. Very, very jungly and dry and like mature trees. We did see some amazing birds there. After that, it was off to, we made that little stop at that park where we started seeing more of the, we saw the magpies again, the white crested.
No, magpie jays.
Yeah, they look like a giant blue jay, but it's a magpie. We've seen a lot of them around the resort, and they're pretty, they're stealing French fries off plates basically, but they're really pretty. They got this big dangly thing off their head, and they're huge. I mean, it's a magpie-sized bird. So, but yeah, so we did some more of that dry, deserty style environment, and we're getting so hot and everything. And we're seeing these amazing birds, and then he says after this small break, he's like, okay, now we're going to the rainforest where it's a completely different climate. And he wasn't kidding. All of a sudden, everything turned green. It was so lush. It was raining. Like all of a sudden, we felt like we needed to put a jacket on.
It's like misty rain just coming down from the top of the rainforest, and you know, like the low clouds with volcanoes in the background. Like it was just an absolutely beautiful scenery.
A long, windy road up the mountain, like a very long, like an hour-and-a-half trip.
An off-road, windy mountain up the road. So yeah, it was pretty out there, but it was really nice because it gave us a little sense of like the culture and how people, you know, kind of live in the area. We went to a local restaurant for lunch with our tour guide, so it was kind of nice just to take a break and experience the culture that is, you know, Costa Rica off the resort type of thing.
Yeah, no one's speaking English, just farms, and like there's cows walking down the road, and it was pretty much a paradise on the top of that hill there. The cool breeze and the lush environment and the plants.
So I believe what they refer to, it was the Curubanda Lodge.
And that is where we saw the most amazing birds, and it was actually a decent spot for photography. There was this little garden area we went by that was behind someone's farm, but that's where we saw the scarlet rump tanager, the green honey creeper, we saw a toucan high up in the tree. That was on our bucket list, to see a toucan, a wild toucan.
Yeah. Again, a lot of them, some of them were too far for pictures, like the toucan was way out there. It was just a spotting scope thing, but
Trogon
like
was
Trevor
there.
said, with the area that we were in, it was really great because it had the sunlight behind us, and then just this open jungle rainforest where birds were just kind of diving and swooping past us, and we were just there kind of soaking it in. Obviously, as bird lovers, I mean, I think the reason half of us enjoy this hobby so much is that you can travel and see so many different types of species, but the color, like, it's just unbelievable. Like, there's nothing more vibrant in nature than the color of birds, and we really saw that on this trip. Like, the green honey creepers and the mannequins and the just the bluest of the blue, just absolutely
brightest,
beautiful.
most vibrant
Yeah.
colors. So, and I'll say this about the reality of a situation like this. If you see someone's photos from a trip like this, you think it's like, oh, okay, let's take a picture of a mannequin here, a tanager, and all these amazing birds. But the reality is, it was 12 hours of walking around in the heat and, going periods of time, sometimes up to 25 minutes without seeing anything or chasing a certain bird. And the photographic opportunities are slim. So when you do get a chance, it's extreme excitement, and then it dies down for a while, and then extreme excitement. And then the other thing is too, there's our tour guide could speak really great English, but because these were all new birds we've never seen before and never heard before, I suppose we could have done more research. But he would often say, "Oh, that's this," and we're like, "I didn't even really catch what that was," and we'd get a look at it. So he shared his eBird list with us, and then we're able to actually, we saw those birds, but he had to really help us and guide us along there. And also part of the fun when we bird in Ontario is when we see a bird, we know it, right? You kind of have that because we've learned it over time. Whereas this is it's almost overwhelming because it's
hit the face with all these new birds. Especially
when you see 3 new birds at once in one area, and it's like, what did we see?
Yeah.
And you're just firing away pictures wherever you can. And honestly, by our standards for photography, we got 3 or 4 great shots out of the whole day because it was more of just experiencing the whole thing.
And he did a really great job of knowing that we had cameras and knowing that we wanted to get pictures. Did a really great job of staying in a certain spot longer because he knew that it was better for photos and that sort of thing. So he was just, when we got back from the trip last night, we were just so impressed. Just the amount of knowledge.
More than we could ever handle.
I don't know if there's anyone out there who knows more than this guy. He was just unbelievable.
We had a private driver and the private tour guide for the 2 of us. It was an amazing value and an unforgettable experience.
So the name of the company that we traveled with was Natural Discovery Costa Rica. And they had a variety of birding tours and other different tours that you could pick from. And we decided to go with the full day just because we're in Costa Rica. Might as well go for the gusto and do the full day. So that included kind of the dry Santa Rosa National Park area, along with coming into more of the rainforest type climate to get both sets of birds. It was, I think, a lot. I don't know if it was just it was as great as the day was, we were exhausted.
Pro tip, if you are going to do this tour, which is highly recommended, bring binoculars, get ready for a long day of hiking and walking, and don't drink 20 drinks the day before at the resort because, well.
Go get it.
Hello. Do we need anything, Ash? So that's the thing too. You never know what you're going to get when you go off resort. It can be a little scary sometimes, and we experienced this in Mexico and it went great. So this tour company, very professional. The vehicle was brand new. The food was amazing. We felt safe the whole way. And like I said, our tour guide spoke amazing English and he was very polite. So we felt really comfortable, even though we were, out in the middle of nowhere. It could have felt a bit scary, but it didn't. It never did because of the way they handled the whole thing. Very professional company. Just realized we never said the resort we're staying at. We're staying at the beautiful Dreams Las Mareas.
Check out this view.